Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon. I am Colonel Phillip Battaglia, and I'm the commander of the 4th Brigade Combat Team of the 1st Cavalry Division. Now, we're finishing our 12-month deployment, and we're in the process of changing out with a new unit and redeploying my brigade back to Texas. We have been operating in 3 provinces this past year in southern Iraq: Muthana in the west, Dikar, our central province, and finally Maysan in the east. Our mission has been to train, advise, and enable the Iraqi security forces across the 3 provinces and to enable the provincial reconstruction teams in their efforts to improve governance and economic capacity with the Iraqi provincial governments. Now, as I look across 12 months of operations, the growth and improvement that we have observed has been truly staggering and more than I ever thought possible. Foremost, we have seen amazing growth in the professionalism and the competence of the Iraqi police, the border enforcement units, and the Army in our area. We are now in a positive spiral where increased security provides more opportunity for training, which yields a more effective force and, in turn, even better security. During our tour, the Iraqi security forces, assisted by my brigade, have arrested over 200 suspected terrorists and criminals and seized more than 9,000 munitions, to include IEDs, the improvised explosive devices, and the EFPs, the explosive form penetrators. We have also seen the ISF dramatically improve their targeting processes by obtaining warrants for arrest to apprehend criminals and terrorists. We witnessed the Army and police work with the Iraqi election officials to secure the population during recent successful and credible provincial elections. The Iraqi security forces in our 3 provinces independently provided security at all voting locations at a time of increased vulnerability. Led completely by Iraqi government institutions and secured by Iraqi forces, this election proved that change could occur at the Iraqi ballot box. During our tenure, the 10th Iraqi Army Division added a new brigade, the 41st Brigade in southern Maysan province. This 3,000-man brigade is now conducting effective operations throughout the marshes of southern Maysan. Just last month, the 10th Iraqi Army Division conducted Operation Lion Roar, and this was a live-fire exercise where the division demonstrated its ability to combine Iraqi ground and air assets with coalition fire support assets to demonstrate their lethality and their capability. This event clearly demonstrated the growing capability of the Iraqi security forces to secure Iraqi sovereignty. In addition to these achievements, we turned the security of the Shakarkar Bridge, which is over the Euphrates River, the soccer stadium in Amara, and the ancient Ziggurat of Ur, a national treasure to the Iraqi people, over to the Iraqi security forces. My brigade worked hand in hand with the provincial reconstruction teams in each of the provinces to improve governance and economic conditions. Our team assisted the local governments to spend $34.7 million Iraqi dollars in projects to improve essential services. These projects provided an average of 3,400 jobs each month to local citizens. We also hired a local trucking company to move coalition supplies around our locations, which created over 1,000 additional employment opportunities and took approximately 600 U.S. military vehicles off the roads of Iraq. The focus of these projects has been agricultural development and clean water. The local governments and the PRTs are working 22 agricultural-focused projects. The PRT and my brigade, civil affairs personnel, supported the local government to allocate 10.4 million Iraqi dollars to repair and renovate 27 water treatment facilities. In summary, Southern Iraq is a much better place to live and raise a family than it was a year ago. The good news story of this past year for me is twofold. First is the improvements and progress of the Iraqi security forces, and also the local government's improved capacity to provide essential services and economic opportunities to their people. We have had an amazing year, and we're proud to have been part of all these recent successes. And with that, I would like to pause and answer any questions that you may have. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hi, Colonel Jonathan Blakely from National Public Radio. What do you see as the next challenge down in the South, particularly leading up to the elections and then maybe even 6 months after that? What will be the U.S. presence after you pull out? And on a separate note, if you can just talk a bit about the status of the drought down there.
Let's take those one at a time. I may ask you to come back with me. The challenges, I think you talked about that, and that is, of course, the national elections. We had very successful, credible provincial elections, and we want to make sure that that happens for the national elections. I think the biggest challenge that that the local governments are facing right now is it's a matter of expectations. The Iraqi people voted some folks out because they did not deliver services. They did not deliver improved quality of life. So these new governments now have a challenge of meeting those expectations of their people. Okay?
The U.S. presence. Yeah.
Talking about the U.S. presence, what I will tell you is what I know as of right now. My brigade, and with its 6 battalions, is being replaced by another unit, a like-size element, same capabilities, same number of units. So for the 3 provinces that I operate in, for the foreseeable future, there is a brigade that is operating there.
And then, of course, the drought.
The drought, I'll tell you, very, very, very serious in our area. We know that the level of the rivers is much lower. The marshes, there's definite impact, economic, but also social impact with the people. I mean, that's the marsh Arabs. That's where they live, and the drought has affected their capability, their ability to raise the farm animals, water buffaloes, and the agriculture and everything like that. So hopefully we'll get some improvement. That has been based on when I talked about in my initial comments about the 22 water projects. Part of that is to provide clean, potable water. The other part of that is to provide water for irrigation purposes.